update you on all the running stories, and connect you to the newsmakers.
City News.
It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News. We're coming to you live from our studios in Accra. My name is Adjuatin Krama Domina. Coming up this afternoon, son of Bishop Salifu Amwako sentenced to 6 months at Senior Correctional Center for killing 2 persons in Islegon car crash. We'll hear from the grandmother of one of the victims, who is demanding a review of the judgment, describing the sentence as not being punitive enough.
Yeah, this is also make you see. Just one person who needs him, and now who need life. That's one guilty. All the 8 charges, one guilty, including driving without license. So one guilty. What to be done?
Also coming up, Catholic Bishops' Conference pushes for presidential assent to proper human sexual rights and family values bill following Supreme Court's dismissal of 2 suits against the bill.
This was the only obstacle that was in the way of the bill becoming a law. We appeal to the President of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to pen his signature to the bill.
Still in the bulletin.
This time around, we've accumulated the debt to 25 million Ghana cedis, and so they are unwilling to offer any further services until those arrears are settled.
Release of 2024 WASI results in limbo over a 25 million cedi debt owed by WAEC to its technicians responsible for processing the results. Will be live in Parliament, where the Education Minister Dr. Yawose Duchum is expected to answer questions on the government's debt to WAEC. And later in the bulletin, John Mahama's team assures of a review of the composition of the Operation Recover All Loot Oral Committee to include more women, following pressure from women rights advocacy groups.
The rest of it is a promise we made that at least 30% of the appointments will be reserved for women. I think that is also a work in progress.
Stay with us for details of these and more stories coming your way in the next half hour. Remember, the news is live across the globe on citynewsroom.com, on YouTube and on Facebook. Find us on Citi 97.3 FM. Across the country, we are live on a number of affiliate stations. In the Western region, this is Adrimpa 100.7 FM in Takwa, Sky Power 93.5 FM in Takrade, and Beach 105.5 FM also in Takrade. In the Bono region, tune in to Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyai. In the Shanti region, this is Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi, Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. If you're in the Volta region, this is Revival 99.3 FM in Tajevu, VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohoi. In the Northern region, this is Radio Bimbala 91.9 FM. In the Upper East, this is Quality 88.7 FM in Garu, and in the Upper West region, this is Tunsong 97.3 FM in Wa and Jirapa 96.1 FM. Please stay for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Hello and welcome to the program. Let's begin with the Catholic Bishops' Conference, because it has urged President Akufo-Addo to sign the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, commonly known as the Anti-Gay Bill, into law before leaving office. They see this as an opportunity for the president to establish a significant legacy. Now, this follows a Supreme Court decision which unanimously dismissed a constitutional challenge to the bill by lawyer Richard Delasky, noting that the bill cannot be reviewed judicially until it becomes law. Now, President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Most Reverend Matthew Kwesi Jemfi, speaking to Citi News, commended the court's ruling and called for urgent action on the bill.
Once this was the only obstacle that was in the way of the bill becoming a law, and that obstacle has been cleared, we appeal to the President of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to pen his signature to the bill so that it becomes a law. That will be a legacy and probably one of the greatest acts of service that he will have rendered to the country in his 8 years of tenure. we are not familiar with how laws are made here and there. But this is something that a Parliament of Ghana has discussed extensively and have reached a stage where they have presented it to the President. Left to me and left to common sense, the Parliament does not have to discuss these things all over again. They do not have to restart it. It's Parliament that did it, and every Parliament is legal and has the authority to make laws. And if they have reached this stage, it's a function of Parliament continuing with where they have reached. And if this President does not sign, and I have no reason to doubt that he will not sign, then the next one comes, and it's just a continuation of our legal and political process.
So that's Most Reverend Matthew Kwesi Jemfi. He's president of the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference. Now, a juvenile court in Accra has sentenced Bishop Salifu Amwako's 16-year-old son to 6 months at the Senior Correctional Center for manslaughter. The teen driving without a license caused an accident at East Legon that killed 2 persons. Initially pleading not guilty, he later admitted guilt. Now, the court further ordered him to report to probation officers bi-weekly and barred him from driving until he's 18 years. His parents were also fined 6,000 Ghana cedis each and must pay 8,000 cedis for damages, including a destroyed light pole. Now, following the court's proceedings, the grandmother of one of the victims, Justine Agbenu, expressed her thoughts on the matter.
If you commit such a crime and you plead not guilty, it suggests you're not empathetic.
And now life. That's what you're guilty. Including driving without license. That's what you're guilty. What to be that? And I mean, sadly, prosecutor was able to gather evidence. It's actually the depth of the evidence. They had no choice than to make a U-turn and to plead guilty. We are parents. Now, also, they've been depression.
If you're a parent and you claim your child is depressed and doesn't have a license as well, who should we blame for the incident?
You heard the grandmother of Justine Agbenu, one of the victims in the East Legon road crash that claimed 2 lives. Away from that now, the West African Examinations Council, WAEC, says the release of the 2024 WASSCE results has been delayed due to challenges in repairing scanners needed to process answer sheets. Now, WAEC owes technicians 25 million Ghana cedis for repairs, part of a larger 115 million cedis debt owed by the government. Head of Public Affairs John Kapi says the council cannot provide a timeline for the results as financial constraints have stalled the repair process.
We indicated that the scanners for scanning the objective answer cards had broken down, and we needed some funds to fix them. Now, if I may go into a bit of detail, we had them fixed earlier by some technicians, and we promised that as and when funds were available, we'd pay them. We've had that kind of arrangement with them. But then this time around, we've accumulated a debt to 25 million Ghana cedis. And so they are unwilling to offer any further services until those arrears are settled. Unfortunately, due to the absorption of fees by the government, we are, waiting for them to release the funds so that we'll be able to pay these technicians. And they're also asking that we give a guarantee, for the job they are going to do, that right after the job will pay them. So that is why we are where we are right now. When we're collecting examination fees from candidates directly, you wouldn't hear this kind of thing, but when it comes to releases from the state, it can be very, very frustrating.
So that's John Kapi. He's head of public affairs at the West African Examination Council, WAEC. Let's now go live to Parliament now. My colleague Nia Ikwe Oka is our parliamentary correspondent, and he stands by for us. We understand the Education Minister is billed to appear before the House today to address some matters regarding government debt. Ikwe, good afternoon. Thank you for your time. Has the minister come yet?
Good afternoon, Adjoa, and thanks for having me. So the Minister for Education not yet in the House. The House or session hasn't officially started, but we have a few of the MPs in the chamber waiting for proceedings to officially begin. But yesterday, the member of the Education Committee of the House, Peter Nochukotwe, made a statement with regard to the challenges faced by the West African Examination Council, particularly regarding the government's indebtedness to its outfit. He highlighted some of the challenges, particularly regarding the payment of the funds, which could have aided them to be able to pay invigilators and also repair some equipment. As part of his submission, he was demanding that someone of the finance minister as well as the education minister to be able to apprise the House on what exactly the issue is so that they could know the way forward. Now, fortunately, the education minister was in the House yesterday. Dr. Yawose Duchum actually informed the speaker, Alban Bagman, that he was going to get in touch with WAEC right away so that he would know what exactly the issue is and then subsequently apprise the House on the measures that his outfit would take to ensure that the issue is resolved. We were expecting that today he would apprise or inform the House on what exactly measures, the exact measures that government has taken to ensure that this issue is resolved once and for all. So once proceedings officially begin, we would be expecting to have the Education Minister, Dr. Yawose Duchum, actually update the House on some of the key measures that government is taking to address this whole challenge of indebtedness to the West African Examination Council.
Right. Now, Ayikwe, we understand the Parliamentary Chamber is also ready for sitting today. Talk to us briefly about that before we let you go.
Yes, so for some months now, the chamber was closed down for some renovation works. To this effect, the Grand Arena of the Accra International Conference Center was where proceedings were being held oftentimes. Today, renovation works have come to a close, and then the chamber has been opened. Members of Parliament are currently in the chamber waiting for the Speaker, Alban Bagbin, to move in so that proceedings for today would take place in the chamber. So some of the gadgets were replaced. Paintings have been, done in the chamber just for nice outfit for the upcoming 9th Parliament. So that renovation works have concluded, and we are expecting today's proceedings to take place here.
Thank you so much. That's Nia Ikwe Okan reporting to us from Parliament. Let's bring you some other stories now. Special aid to President-elect John Mahama, Joyce Bawumutari, has disclosed that efforts are ongoing to review the composition of the Operation Recover Olu Oro team to include women, following a push by the Affirmative Action Law Coalition. The 5-member Oro team announced on Wednesday, December 18, was without a woman, necessitating calls by women rights groups for an adherence to the Affirmative Action Gender Equity Act 2024, Act 1121, which among other targets hopes for a 30% women representation in political, social, economic and cultural spheres. Now speaking to City News, Joyce Bawumutari assured that the attention of the president-elect has been drawn to the exclusion of women and efforts are being made to rectify it.
First and foremost, I want to put this conversation in proper context. I will expect that we should start to celebrate the progressive outlook of the John Mahama ticket. I think I haven't heard enough about that. For the very first time in the history of this country, we have a man who goes out there to nominate an accomplished professor of education as his running mate. So as we said, Ghana is on the cusp of electing. In fact, we have elected. We are now actually going to be swearing into office, most of my part. The second thing is when we start to think about what else is in it for all the other women that we speak about. And I think that before everybody starts to,
You heard Joyce Bawumutari, she's special aide to President-elect John Dramani Mahama. Meanwhile, the Affirmative Action Law Coalition has welcomed this move, describing it as a good step to address the anomalies in various appointments made so far. Here's the coordinator for the Affirmative Action Law Coalition, Becky Enyonam Ahaji.
I think people need to understand that it's not just a woman thing. We are talking about gender equality. We're talking about inclusivity. We live in a society where the headship of men is what is prevalent. And so you see us coming made up of only men. It feels wrong because men are supposed to be lead. But we as a county decided on 30th July to pass a law that says that we want to be more intentional about having women decision making, we want to be more intentional about affirming the values that women bring on board and making sure that they have the inclusion. And we decided to give a filter and say that for every decision making, for every presidential appointment, we want to have at least 30% of women in there. And so if since the law was passed, for the first appointment to be seen, we noticed that there is an anomaly that needs to be rectified. That's why the coalition decided to issue that first release. And we are very glad that the presidential aide responded to that and said that they have seen that they need to rectify this. And we are very glad about that.
So that's the coordinator for the Affirmative Action Law Coalition, Becky Enyonam Ahaji. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. When we return, Kumasi High Court grants bail to 14 individuals arrested in connection with violent disturbances during the 2024 elections in Damongo. Stay for details of this and other stories.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Yeah, welcome back to the news. Let's bring you some other stories. Kumasi High Court has granted bail to 14 individuals arrested in connection with violent disturbances during the 2024 elections in Damongo in the Savannah region. Now, the accused had initially been remanded in custody on December 12th. The violence, which followed delays in the declaration of election results, led to the death of one person and the destruction of Electoral Commission's office. Now, the case was transferred to Kumasi due to security concerns. The accused face charges including unlawful damage, assault, and obstructing electoral officials. Now, the court sets the bail at 20,000 Ghana cedis each with two sureties and ordered them to surrender their Ghana cards and report to the Damongo police twice a week. Here's the defense counsel, Evans Amankwa, speaking on the court's decision.
I applied for the bail for the accused persons, and I indicated to the court that the prosecution could not tell the court as to how and when they are going to continue or finish with their investigation. It means that the innocent people will be in custody without any cause of action against them. And for that matter, the court should exercise its discretion, because we know that bail is at the discretion of the court. So we pray that the court should exercise its discretion in favor of the accused person, because they were picked randomly. An incident happened during the elections, but police picked people randomly, associating them with the incident. That is why the police have not been able to establish any guilt or anything against the accused persons. So the court exercised its discretion in favor of the accused persons. So graciously, our brothers from Damongo has been granted bail in the sum of 20,000 each with two sureties, and the court asked that those sureties should be people within the jurisdiction of this honorable court. It means that we need to get people within Ashanti region here.
So you heard Defense Counsel Evans Amankwa speaking there. Away from that, a new patriotic party, the NPP, has criticized the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare, for what they describe as inadequate security during the December elections. The Electoral Commission reported attacks on its staff by party supporters despite the presence of security personnel. Now, the NPP claims that the chaos could have been avoided if the IGP had issued timely directives. Haruna Mohammed is Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, and he has been expressing these concerns to Citi News.
all manner of things that they go in for coalition. Look at what they are doing. One person will get up and write on his Facebook, you need 5,000 people to gather at a place. And you see people go in there, they are destroying. All the other 12 places that we are calling for the coalition to be done is because it wasn't done through the laws governing elections, that is CI 127. And that is why we are calling on. The Electoral Commission is right and apt. And we have said it before that Dampari is not ready to be able to provide security. And that is exactly what is showing on. Even when we went to the National Security Installation, and that is Tesano, the police training school, he even felt insecure. We had to stop the coalition. And then we had to leave and waiting for another place to be identified so that it will be very peaceful for us to do it. That is telling you that there is a very, very big gap in terms of lapse in our security system. Because simple coalition system, the internal security is loose, the IGP is not ready to do it, to give a command, and some of these things must be relooked at. We need a very peaceful country. I think that the Electoral Commission is very apt in what they are saying, because all of us are so much disappointed. I know you are very disappointed. Coalition, we've finished elections, and then you are disrupting everything. They are forgetting that CI 127 in Regulation 39.3p gives every political party a copy of this particular pensions. No matter what distraction you do, no matter what insecurity situations you put, the political parties have their copies. Coalition has to continue. And we are going to follow through to ensure that every election or every parliamentary seat that has been declared illegally will have to be legally declared. And that
Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Haruna Mohammed, while still on elections, the Electoral Commission is expected to address the media this afternoon through its Let the Citizens Know platform on the recollation of the outstanding parliamentary result. We'll bring you updates as and when we have them, but let's stay on the commission because technology analyst Maximum Ametogo has urged the commission to adopt advanced technology to enhance the collation process during the general elections. While the 2024 elections were widely regarded as peaceful and successful, challenges in the collation process have been noted. Now, speaking to City News, Maximus suggested leveraging digital interfaces to streamline results collation, minimize errors, and reduce the likelihood of conflicts and electoral disputes.
All the parties have their own setup for collating the results that they get from the various polling states. But a lot of the problems happen when pink sheets are moved from polling stations to collation centers, and that's where a lot of the parties complain that figures get changed and a lot of things get altered on the pink sheet. So technology can only solve that if you design a process whereby the biometric verification devices that are used to verify the voters can also have an inbuilt system whereby at the end of the collation and when the results are counted, then they should be able to input those numbers onto the same BVDs and then get those results verified by the party agents, so they can still scan their fingerprints, so that they verify that result. And the pink sheets right at the polling station can also be scanned into an EC centralized system where all the party agents and observers and other stakeholders will have access to the same dashboard.
That's a technology analyst, Maximus Ametogo. Now, 2 suspects have been arrested in Boko following a gun battle on Wednesday. The suspects have been transferred to Bolgatanga, the Upper East Regional Capital, shortly after the apprehension. Security agencies have deployed drones to track gunmen involved in the ongoing conflict. Despite these efforts, gunfire exchanges have persisted in the area, particularly during curfew hours since October. Away from that, now several Ghanaian students have voiced their frustration over their inability to secure visa interviews for travel to the United States despite having gained admission to American universities. In interviews with City News, the affected students shared their challenges.
Unfortunately, we have been stuck in this emergency date, which currently the earliest date on this portal is October 2025. That is about 10 months from our program start date, and that is not favorable for most of us. We have been waiting for months for the embassy to release dates. Unfortunately, the most disheartening issue happening now, is that those who are on the regular portal, who did not even apply or who were denied emergency appointments are getting dates in December, while we who were approved are still stuck in October with no option to even come back to the regular portal. We are pleading with them because we need to go and further our educational goals.
I have to differ or something because by school they don't give late arrival. So if I don't report on time, I have to just define.
Have you made any payments?
Yes, I've paid my service fee, my admission fee, like everything. Left with the date for my interview. I have to start everything again. I used to define maybe August or something. So I'll start everything again. I'll start the process again.
So those were some students speaking on their inability to secure visas to the United States of America. Well, the visa chief of the United States Embassy in Ghana, Stacey Combe, has apologized to Ghanaian students with admission to the U.S. over these delays. The prospective students lament that expedited visa appointments get them dates far from the regular, which exceeds their admission date. Now, speaking on the City Breakfast Show, Stacey Combe assured of efforts to resolve the delays.
The issue of getting student visa applicants and having the appointments open is very near and dear to my heart, and it definitely advances our bilateral relationship between Ghana and the United States. So I can assure you that I'm going to take this issue back and I'm going to go into the system as soon as we end this conversation, see what's going on with this, and then we'll contact our third-party contractor to see what the problem is. I'll also ask for a list of students who have been sitting in this expedited student visa appointment queue, and then I'll look at them and see what we can do to try to accommodate their requests. I can only apologize for this issue with our third-party contractor and reassure you again that we really appreciate the interest in studying in the United States, and that the ability to have these bilateral exchanges is foundational to the U.S.-Ghana relationship, which at this point is one of the strongest points it's ever been, and we consider Ghana a foundational partner for the United States and West Africa. Supporting these students and facilitating these appointments is part of supporting that relationship.
So that's Stacey Combe. She is the visa chief of the United States Embassy in Ghana. She was speaking to Bernard Avle on the City Breakfast Show. Now, the 2024 Situation All-White Party is set to be the ultimate celebration for birthday celebrants, anniversary couples, and anyone looking to celebrate in style. Organized by Channel 1 TV and Citi FM, the event will be held at the Underbridge in East Legon. Guests will enjoy live performances from top artists, including Adani Bears, Bisakede, Keche, Emoji, and the Chinchin Band. Managing Director of Citi FM and Channel 1 TV, Samuel Atamensa, says the event is a perfect opportunity to unwind and enjoy a night of unforgettable entertainment.
So it's an all-white party situation where you need to get your table. A table, we have different tables. We have the platinum table.
In the presence of my enemies.
We have the diamond table. We have the alcoholic table, the non-alcoholic table. And so if you, in fact, for those of you who celebrated your birthdays in December, Charlie, get your friends together, get a table and come and climax it,
or
Charlie.
your marriage anniversary.
Come and climax the thing. Anniversary people, December.
Everything is in there.
Please call this number 0205 973 973. Okay, I repeat 0205 973 973. So if you want diamond table, tell them. Okay, diamond alcoholic table is going for 12,000 for 8 seats. Okay, 8 seats.
So you can do contribution. Everybody contributes.
Yes. So if it's a birthday, we will Charlie, we will adorn your table with a brutal birthday cake, Charlie. You know birthday cake that is breathing, breathing. The cake is there. They'll do. The cake is being breathe in, breathe out.
Breathe out.
Thank you. And then the wedding anniversary people, just call the number, book your table, and make sure you have your white and show up. And it's going to be a bash.
So that's Samuel Atamensa, is Managing Director of Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. And on that note, we bring the curtains down on today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Accra. For more stories, please log on to citinewsroom.com. My name is Ajua Tinkrama Domina. Many thanks for your company. Good afternoon.
Citi News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959. and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at Citi 973.
City 97.